Agent Politician, Behind Bars Entertainment, CCG Network Radio. You are now rocking with the Get Rich Rapping Podcast with my mans, Daniel Scott, a.k.a. Esskimo. Don't get mad, get motivated, bitches.
What's going on, guys? It's Esskimo. You're tuned in to the Get Rich Rapping Podcast. As I promised you, we've got our interview today with Adam Ivy. He's a marketing expert. He's a content creator. He's a music producer. He's an owner of a clothing brand, and the list goes on. Now, it's all good me telling you what I know about Adam Ivy, but I've got the man here himself. I'm sure he'll be able to tell you better than I can a little bit more about him.
What's going on, man? No, you summed it up pretty well. I dabble in a whole lot of things. It's like I get an idea, then I work on it, then I get a different idea. That's kind of been a downfall to me. But anyway, yeah, man. I mean, I've been producing music for 10 years. I did it full time for about 2.5 years. A few years back. I guess you would call it being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I own a fitness and lifestyle apparel brand that I just launched earlier this year. And I'm just a nerd, man. I love marketing. I love business. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much sums it up.
You know what? That's what I think is the beauty of the online entrepreneurism, is that, you know, you get in one place, and then all of a sudden you find an interest in something else, and all of a sudden you're a fully blown, you know, clothing brand owner, you know.
Right.
Like a couple of years back,
yeah.
you were a producer, then you get into creating the YouTube content which you make, and it's just an ever evolving path, and I think that's why it appeals to creative people who can do that thing. So I had a few questions for you, man, and I just wanted to write down some questions that I really feel would pick your brain, because this show's all about, you know, what can people take from this and what people can learn from. That's why I had to get you in, man, because I've learned so much just from, you know, looking at your content and looking through the things that you post on social media. It's not just me, is, you know, Adam Ivy's a thing. You know?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. I'm just a regular dude trying to optimize, you know, my opportunities and my. I hate the word potential, but I guess it would be appropriate here. But you know, it just. Nothing's really ever been handed to me, man. So it's like you got to be hungry. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
So many people listening to this right now are very similar to you and I in the sense that they have a passion maybe for music. Maybe they have a passion for creating videos. Maybe they have a passion for marketing and starting businesses, whether that be a tangible good, such as a clothing line, or, you know, maybe selling information products or ebooks or something. But, you know, you learn so much that...
Absolutely.
You know, you could start with music, and then maybe as you're learning the marketing, you're like, oh, this is way more fun, and I can help other people. So, I mean, I really appreciate the compliments, man. But
no doubt,
yeah.
man. No doubt. We're popping, man. It's moving. So, I'd like to ask you, how would you define what you strive to do? I know you've touched, you know, bits and pieces, but could you sort of put a definition on what it is that you strive to do every day?
I think I would probably, because I mean, this is a loaded question, right? I could sit here, we could talk for 45 minutes just about this, but
absolutely.
I would say that I would sum it up, and I'm not trying to sound like a hippie or anything, but if I can help change the way people view themselves in a profoundly positive way, I've done my job. And that goes for their confidence in making music, that goes for the progress that they're making in their business. Mm-hmm. And with the new clothing line, that really ties into the literal sense of feeling better about themselves, feeling better about their body image, feeling better about the progress that they're making, and just who they see when they look in the mirror beyond the physical. You know what I mean? Like so many people, our society right now is thriving on low-key body shaming everybody, right? Like you and I, we could do 1,000 sit-ups a day, 1,000 push-ups, and be looking pretty good. But then when you compare how we look compared to the, you know, super buff dude with the 12-pack that's on quote-unquote creatine,
3% body fat.
That's it. And it's not practical. It's not realistic. I mean, for them it is, and I'm not knocking that, because people can make a career of it. I mean, I'm passionate about fitness myself, but to paint that as the only way to look in order to feel fit is complete garbage. And that's kind of my new mission, is to promote embracing who you are, right? I mean, the brand is the apparel brand is just be authentic, just be original, just be yourself. And that's really my mission right now. And it's, we go back quite a ways, and it's like, I've always tried to help people, whether that be through tutorials on YouTube, whether that be through stupid parodies that I've done in the past that have been a lot of fun, but, have brought joy to people's lives, who may have been, maybe going through a really, bad day, and watching a stupid, dude on YouTube make fun of a song might brighten their day a little bit. So it's like, really, that's my mission, and that's where I get the most fulfillment, and I feel purpose in. Like, the money's cool. Don't get me wrong, I love money, but bringing positivity and being able to boost people up, even from halfway across the country, just through my content and what I do, that's my jam. That's what I really love doing.
Absolutely, man. I like the point you touched on as well, where you said the money's cool, you know what I mean? And I think that's a lesson, if anybody's listening right now and resonated with that specifically right there. Like, money will come, and I know it's hard to believe when you're putting in all that work and you're not really seeing any money out of it, but it's like, don't try and monetize ahead of you. You go there, you do it, and you monetize behind you, and you learn things, and you start building things. And if what you do is really good, the money will happen, as long as you do the things to monetize that, man. I think you've definitely been a great example of that, man. Definitely.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. And just touching on what you just said, kind of bouncing back and forth, like, so many people get on YouTube, so many people get on a blog, they launch a WordPress website because they saw, Joe over here with his video. They saw Ty Lopez in his garage with his Lamborghini and his 7 bookshelves, talking about how, I like materialistic things, but I like, you know what I like more? Knowledge. It's just like, you get these people that see everything as money. Subconsciously money, very straight up in your face money. They think, I'm going to put up 5 videos on YouTube and I'm going to start making enough money to pay my rent, right? Or they put up a blog, and this is the thing. This is where I'm getting at, right? Okay. Money will come through consistency and hard work, but people in our society they're so ADD. They want that immediate return, that immediate gratification, that immediate high of, I spent 15 minutes online and now I can live on the beach in Jamaica and, live passively for the rest of my life. Like, it doesn't work like that. And that's why so many people fail. So many people get frustrated. And so many people like you and I, we've been doing it for a while. Yeah. We know that it's a long play. We know that it's the long-term game. And we use money as a tool rather than a necessity. Like, you get what I'm saying. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I think that it reflects in people's content also when they are trying to do things for money, and they just sort of copying other people. They're making a lot of money, getting a lot of views. Let me just try and do what they did, And I feel like when people come up with original content, that's when they really, really make the money. And I think when people look up to people and say, I want to do that and I want to live the life that they have and stuff, they forget the reason why they look up to that person is that they're unique.
Exactly.
And even if you look at the rap game, just literally anything is just that constant cycle of, it's kind of like it's capitalism. It's like, let's do what they did.
Yep.
And it just trickles down all the way, and then you get someone who comes along and brings out the next product or the next sound. And then everyone's on that bandwagon, and people, if they just stay true, exactly. If they stay true to themselves and just stay true to what they really believe in and their uniqueness, they could be the one ahead of that wave where everybody's copying them, type of thing.
And I feel like that's why so many industries right now are so diluted.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to the rap game, when it comes to the music industry in general, when it comes to 1,500, and that's a very low number, 1,500 different producers in their bedrooms making type beats that sound exactly like the producer that made a name for himself with that style that everybody's going to. And then the music industry just starts churning through the cheap guys, churning through the copycats. But those copycats never get a name for themselves. Those copycats get a couple checks, And then when they think that they can raise their prices, the labels are like, no, because you don't sound original.
Yeah.
Like I'll just go to the next guy that sounds like that. Like,
and he doesn't want as much money.
Exactly. That's the cycle of it, man. I mean,
Absolutely.
You build a name, then they don't pay you. They go to the next person. They build a name, then they go to the next person. So being original is job security. Being original is where you can get that income that just keeps coming.
Absolutely.
Where you can retire off of it because you have a name, you know?
Love that shit. So I was wondering as well, man, was there like a particular turning point in your life where like things got serious, where it got to the point where you started putting the money and the time and the solid, like, you know, that you know that decision that people struggle with?
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me multiple times in my life, man. I mean, in 2009, I had a job. I mean, I've had a lot of jobs in my life, but in 2009 in particular, I got fired from a job over, I mean, I could get into it, but let's just put it as easy as possible. They hired a new boss. The vice president wanted me to be the boss. The new guy found out that I was gunning for his job, didn't like that, and fired me. Because he felt as if I was competition, which is cool. I mean, everything happens for a reason, and I'm grateful that it's happened now. But at the time, I felt devastated because I had been very dedicated to this company. I had worked my back end off trying to work my way up. I started on the shipping dock and then worked my way into inside sales, worked my way to assistant manager. And it all sounds silly to me right now because it wasn't very much money, but at the time you think it is. And you think like, oh, this could be a career, this could be stable. And I had been making music for 3 years at that time, but just dabbling and just kind of doing it for fun, selling a few beats here and there back in the days of MySpace. And when I got fired, I got denied unemployment. I had no money in my bank account. I said, you know what? I'm sick of not being in control of my life. I'm in control.
Yeah.
Whether I suffer or whether I'm successful is on me. So at the time I was dating a girl and you know, luckily she was making enough to kind of support my ass for 2 or 3 months. And I just started grinding like 14, 15. I mean, you know how it is, like up to 18 hours a day, like until I couldn't stay awake anymore, just making new beats. And they were garbage, but at the time I thought they were good. And that confidence got to the point where I started selling a few more beats on MySpace. Then in 2010, early 2010, I think it was March, I launched a SoundClick page, started selling a little bit on there, figured out the marketing aspect of it. And by, I'd say, earlier than that. Let's just say in 2011, I cleared 6 figures just selling beats from my pajama pants, you know, in my bedroom essentially.
Yeah.
And you know, I figured out the marketing side of things, which I fell in love with the marketing and slowly kind of lost my passion for music because it became a business. I needed to make certain type of beats.
Yeah.
To make my money. Like the ones I wanted to make weren't selling, if that makes sense. So it's like it stifled my creativity. Yeah, stipend's definitely not the word.
It works.
Right. So it was a complete shift at that point too, because I had worked so hard to do what I wanted to do. Now in 2011 in November, I was offered I guess a senior position or a higher end position to be the media director and marketing manager for an international technologies company. So it took my income working 14 to 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, well, with an occasional day off, doing music full time. Now I get to a point where I can make the same amount of money working 40 hours a week and have so much more opportunity to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Through the evolution of who I am as a person and an entrepreneur and a marketing person. You get what I'm saying? It's like I've always been open-minded, and I think that that's a strength because so many people are like, I'm gonna be a music producer till I'm 65. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm not trying to be negative, but no,
it's the truth, man.
You're not.
That's what it's all about on this show, man. It's just Man, my first
people,
episode, man, my mouth was filth. I was like, fuck this. But just
oh, trust me, I could get like that in a heartbeat. I'm trying to stay very PG here.
Yeah, I feel you 100%, man. But yeah, it is literally like the old Bruce Lee saying of you have to become like water, and you just, you know, if you stay in this box, you just get so rigid in a situation, and an opportunity presents itself, and you won't take it because you want to be a music producer. Where
that's it.
You know, you could just go do this and make a whole bunch of money and do whatever you want with the music production type of thing. It's like I teach a lot of artists. Like I know you want to do music, but to have a music career is going to cost you tens and hundreds of thousands to get up there. Make that money by just being you and building a brand and selling wherever you can fit in, and then you can do music for fun almost, you know what I mean? Go buy a $5,000 video because, you know, you just made $5,000 in product sales this week just for being on Facebook and having an email list type of thing.
That's it. You know, I think that a lot of people discount their own talent in this industry as far as music producers or artists, right? We sit around, we build a name for ourselves, everything from people that use a persona for their producer name or their artist name. We learn how to record, we learn how to make beats, we learn how to sequence, we learn how to mix, we learn how to do social media, we learn how to do email marketing. I mean, everybody's at a different level here, but I'm kind of talking in generalities, but all of those skills could make you so much money
for real,
either working for somebody. And that's another thing that I hate. I absolutely hate when people are like, oh, I'm never going to work for anybody. You're always working for somebody. You could be an entrepreneur. You're always working for somebody, because guess what? You can't cut yourself a check unless somebody else cuts a check to you.
For real.
So the mindset aspect of this, or being successful in general, is all about just being liquid. And I love the quote from Bruce Lee, you know, the water becomes the cup. Right. So when it comes to the evolution and having aha moments and having breakthroughs, it can happen every 6 months. It can happen once every 3 years. You know, you could go from, and this is something that I ranted about on a YouTube video, was that a day job isn't like a 4-letter word. A lot of people think it is, because they're like, ugh, ew. But how many people are actually paying taxes that sell beats online? Like, they're not a business. They can say that, oh, I'm an LLC. Like, you might have an LLC, but are you paying all the taxes on your PayPal accounts? And are you charging people tax in your state? Like, you know, there's elements that people want to ignore, yet want to use the title. I'm the CEO of what? Your bedroom?
Of my Facebook page.
I think that's about it. And it's not to bring those people down, because I love ambitious people. I love driven people. Absolutely. It's the fact that you have to earn the title.
Yeah.
Anybody could say an entrepreneur. That's fine. What are you doing? What are you selling lemonade? Are you selling beats? Because if you haven't sold anything, you're not an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, ideas are great, but a lot of people could utilize a day job, even if it's a part-time job, to learn skills that they didn't learn in college, or maybe they didn't go to college. And they can learn from a position, maybe an internship. They can use that paycheck. Let's say it's $600. Let's pull it back, $600 every 2 weeks, just like a part-time gig, doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
That $600 is going to get you a lot further than sitting in your bedroom and complaining that nobody's buying your beats.
Man, that's probably the worst thing for selling beats. That's
negativity will not bring positivity in your life, no matter what industry, no matter who you are. Yeah. Period. So, you know, one thing that I always preach is, like, money is money until you're making your own.
Yeah.
Like, the way you want to by your own rules is what I'm getting at. If becoming ultra successful was easy, everybody would do it. But the people that are complaining, oh, I'm not going to do X, Y, Z, it's like, who are you? How are you better? Like, you can't put yourself on a pedestal until a pedestal exists. Yeah. And you have to earn that. You have to build that through hard work, dedication, consistency, a vision that you follow through on. So many people, the follow through game is so weak. It's like they should just be talking to a wall. They don't even need any friends on Facebook. They just do random posts to themselves, like, because nobody wants to hear it. And you see these people over and over.
Yeah, man. Because I like to say this, that a lot of people, like, you know, there's that whole thing of all my haters and you know,
right? You know, people wish they had.
For real, because it's like they have to say they have haters because they don't have fans. because they can't admit they don't have fans, so they have to have some relevance. So let's just say they're not listening because they hate me, not because I'm not doing what it takes to actually have an audience, type of thing. You know, I think a lot of it's like psychological with people that, you know, if I can't accept the truth that nobody likes my music, I have to say that they do like it, but they're just not liking it because they don't want to see me win.
That's right. I mean, because their mom loves it. Their mom is like sharing it with all her girlfriends down at Best Buy. You know, it's just like, you're absolutely right. The thing is, we live in a society that everybody wants to feel special for doing nothing. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be a celebrity, have fame, be recognizable, and have a household name from doing nothing. Mm. People want to put up one rap video that they spent $400 on and get super upset when nobody's calling them, when the video only has 600 views after 12 months. Yeah. Because they feel like that was a pinnacle for them to just break through, like just magically break through.
It's going to go viral.
And one viral video, let me tell you from personal experience, one viral video doesn't do anything. Doesn't do it might give you a few subscribers that will instantly unsubscribe unless you come out with like another viral parody video or whatever it was. Let's say, remember the guy, the damn Daniel?
Damn Daniel.
Damn Daniel. Back at it again with the white bands. Like, who's that? I mean, that guy's on a couple commercials. He found a little taste of success, but the kid's like 16, 17 years old. Unless he uses that momentum to kick him into another opportunity, they're not going to be, next up, there's the damn Daniel guy. And he's like 30. He's like, I've been milking this cow for 16 years. Like, it doesn't work like that. Look how many rappers had #1 hits, and they're completely irrelevant now. Nobody remembers them. Man, look at how many producers were like household names in 2006 and don't do anything now. Now they're working for the Windows store at the mall.
Yeah, and then the same game as all the other producers online trying to sell their exclusives for like a couple of hundred when they were making like triple thousands on stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the biggest misconception in terms of marketing? Where do you think a lot of people are getting confused in terms of presenting their brand and just general marketing?
I think kind of like what I touched on just a few minutes ago. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that you can just make quality content, set it and forget it, like the old Ronco rotisserie. You can't. It's a never-ending thing. That's success in general. That's business in general. You can't magically wake up one day and you hit a level where you don't have to work your ass off anymore. Like, working your ass off is a lifestyle that you will do forever, or you just will become irrelevant and fall off, and your business will go bankrupt and your brand will fail. Nobody will remember you. Like, if you're not willing to work, just be mediocre. It's cool with being average. Like, if you want to be an average motherfucker, be an average motherfucker. Like, embrace it.
Yeah.
Get off of work at 5 o'clock. Go meet your boys for drinks every day. Talk about, what the team of your choice should be doing with their roster. Talk a bunch of politics on Facebook to a bunch of people you don't know in real life, and just live that life, live the dream, and go fishing every other weekend. That's cool, but nobody wants that. Nobody wants to admit that a normal, quote unquote, normal life, an average life, is for them. They would rather work their ass off and get stressed out about what they should be doing, and then just wake up at 50 realizing that, I've been living a pretty average life for 50 years. None of this stuff has worked because I'm too lazy and don't believe in myself. So when it comes to marketing, it's all about consistency. Now, people always make excuses. I don't know how to use Photoshop. I don't know how to write copy. I don't know, I don't have anyone to take photos of me.
Yeah.
That's all excuses. Because if you look at any of the major YouTubers, Instagrammers, whatever, go back to their first posts. It will be shitty old cell phone photos. It'll be, 720p, if that, 480 videos, shot on an old point and shoot camera from the late 90s. Like, It'll be old stuff, and you use what you have. You use what you have access to.
Yeah.
And don't make excuses.
That's
and
it,
don't
man.
say, you know what I mean? Like, so many people are like, oh, well, that works for him because he's really good looking. Well, he's playing into his strengths.
Yeah.
You might be an ugly motherfucker, but you're funny.
Yeah.
So be a funny motherfucker.
Show
Don't
me
try
the
to be don't try to be the good looking dude if you're not good looking. Just be whatever you're good at. If you're sarcastic, be sarcastic. If you like dressing up like a girl and do skits on YouTube, do that.
That's it, man. I think people are afraid of their own lane, you know.
That's
You've
it.
got to pick a lane, and you've got to stay in that lane. You know, that lane might have some junctions as you go along, but you know, you've got to get in a lane. And I feel like when people stay in between the two lives, because just to go back on what you were saying, you know, it's cool to be average and it's cool to be great. You know what I mean? But you can't stay in that middle line, because you could have a good life as an average person. You can settle down, you can have your wife, you can have your kids, you can provide for them with a job, or you could go out there and you could blow up and do that thing. But if you play the middle, then you're not going to have a happy home life, because your concentrations aren't going to be where they should be. And if you play the middle and try and get someone, you just got to pick a lane. You know what I mean? I feel like people are afraid people are afraid of the truth, man, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, you're preaching to the choir, my friend. I mean, so many, and like you said, pick your lane. You have to make your lane.
Yeah.
Because look at any successful person, whether it be the owner of Macy's, whether it be Tommy Hilfiger, whether it be Casey Neistat, whether it be, you know, Unbox Therapy on YouTube. Just to name a couple successful YouTubers. Yeah. They made a lane for themselves and created a format that suited their strengths, that, you know, maybe they didn't like vlogging. So they said, you know what, I really enjoy unboxing and reviewing things. Yeah. And I don't really like, you know, doing multiple camera angles. So I'm just going to do it one over the top, one in front of me. Simple. It's easy to edit. Like, you get what I'm saying is if you, for instance, if you or I were to go to YouTube and watch how every single other person is doing beat making videos. Yeah. And we're like, I'm going to do beat making videos just like Mike Columbo or Misto and Pizzy, like showing the OG some love. We're just going to be imitations of them.
Exactly.
And everybody's going to be like, well, that's cool, but I want to see the original.
Absolutely, man. And the only person who won't realize how people are looking at them is the person who's doing it themselves.
That's
it. They don't have that self-awareness, you know, because they don't know themselves enough to be themselves, you know. And I think self-awareness, man, is something, you know, I spend a lot of time, and as I'm sure you do, just knowing who we are, you know what I mean? Flaws and all, you know what I mean? And just being like I know sometimes, like I get on video sometimes and I almost seem pissed off because I'm so direct with stuff, and I know it's a rough technique and I could do it better, you know what I mean? But it's important for us to know what we're good at and know what
that's your
we're not
style.
good at. Exactly.
If you sat up there on the videos and tried to be funny or you know, overly prophetic with what you're saying, like, you just let it flow and you're you, right? So it's like, I agree 100%. And you know, another thing is, people that don't reflect and aren't self-aware typically are too naive. I like the word naive because I want to give them a little credit, but a lot of them are just straight up too stubborn to listen to other people, and not even feedback like, you know what, Jerry, you know, you swear way too much on your YouTube videos. It's more of a subtle thing. You have to learn how to read people, right? So whether it be the comments on your content, I'm not just talking YouTube, you have to understand that even the guy who thinks he knows everything probably has a point somewhere within his critique. You know, they say that jokes always have some layers of truth to them. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's with any conversation. You know, when I ask for feedback for whether it be the apparel brand or my music or my YouTube content or blog posts or instructional stuff I've written, I always tell them, I'm like, pretend like you don't like me.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you would say to me if you don't like me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And I'll go to strangers or people that I'm kind of acquaintances with, but we're not real close. And I'll ask for the feedback because I'm going to say, look, you being dead ass honest with me is going to get me a lot further than sugarcoating anything. Like, I do not like yes men. I do not like people that boost me up in an overly, exaggerative way. It's like, I know I'm not that great. You know what I mean? Because if I was, I wouldn't be in the position I'm at right now. So it's like, people really have to be introspective and understand that embracing your weaknesses is just as important as finding what you're good at. Because if you're really bad at rapping, it's okay. Stop wasting your time. Because you're not going to develop some skill to the point where you're going to be on Oprah talking about how you sucked at rapping for 8 years. And when you were like 35, you realized like, oh, I can get better at this. It's not going to happen. There's a small window in anything.
Absolutely.
Even doing an apparel company, if your branding, if your name is just like everybody else, it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, I could sit here and just pick apart different brands, and that's not really my style, but you see other brands that copy a logo or maybe copy a name, or just copy the way everything looks. And, there's being, what do you want to call it? There's being like complimentary or what would the word be? You could be a derivative.
Yeah.
But you have to be different.
Absolutely. It's got to have its own unique selling point, regardless of what influences you take from everywhere. It's got to stand on its own as well.
You got to make it your own. Otherwise, you will fail every time.
Absolutely, man. Because, man, I got to be honest, when I received... because I got the tank top from you and the t-shirt.
Oh,
man,
right.
Like your strength, the quality on that stuff is crazy. And I'm someone who's done a run or two with t-shirts myself, and it just made me look at what I do, and I was like, man, Adam went and he's got all the tags, you got the collar tags, you got the inside tags, you've got the way the print is. It's just you've done it properly, and I feel like that's what people need to do is take that time to really develop something.
I really appreciate that, man. It brings a smile to my face. Like I've said it before, and this is not my slogan by any means, but the money is cool, and I need it. I need to earn money to be in business. But my mission, setting out doing this, I knew that what was absolutely most important to me was that people were happy with the quality and the attention to detail, the little postcard that I send or a sticker or the tag or whatever. Like, it all adds up. If I just sent you 2 t-shirts balled up in, one of those like bubble mailers, that would have given you a completely different taste in your mouth, even though it's the same product.
Yeah.
And that's how everything needs to be. It's presentation, it's perception. You could live at your parents' house in the basement and be a beat maker, and people could think that you are amazing. They could think that you are the most successful dude. They want to buy from you. They love working with you. And then you could have a guy who actually lives in a mansion and is a total shithead, has horrible branding, doesn't respond to emails, treats people like crap. And one of them is going to succeed. The other one's going to fail and get a life lesson very quickly.
Absolutely.
In anything you do.
Absolutely, man. It's very much value, and as long as you always over deliver on the price point or on what people expect, you're definitely gonna, just in general in life, man. I think if you do more than the level you're at, you're gonna go up.
Absolutely.
It's the same in jobs. If you want a promotion, it's all good going and asking the boss, can I get a promotion? But why not go do the work that the promotion needs right now? And the boss says, you know what, we could use them for that position we've got, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy named Andy Frisella who does a podcast called the MFCEO Project. I'm not sure if you've caught it, but he always says, if someone wants you to sweep the floor, be the best fucking floor sweeper they've ever seen. Like, give 100%.
Yeah.
And you have to. Because if you just do a mediocre job, you're always going to be mediocre. There's a quote out there that I really like. I'm not sure who said it. So I'm thinking Anne Frank. That might be way off. You'll just have to Google search it. But the quote, the quote is, "You'll never be poor by giving." And that really goes for everything. And that's not just monetary. That's not just give money. It's give time, give an ear, actually listen to people when they talk to you rather than just get ready to respond. Get ready to jump in. Because you're not that important. Everybody has a voice if you let them. And so when it comes to business, when it comes to building relationships, networking, it's all about how you treat people, and you have to give love, you have to give appreciation, you have to give time, give respect if you ever want to receive it.
Absolutely, man. And I feel like people get into things for what they can get rather than what they give, when the key is what you can give, because when you give, they give. You know what I mean?
Without question.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it was Anne Frank on that quote. So yeah, your memory served you correctly there.
Nice.
Awesome.
I feel good.
So what keeps you motivated, man? What's the, when you wake up on a day where maybe today's not the day, what is it that really, gets you through that?
A couple things, man. I mean, first of all, I'm in my early 30s. I'm 31. I turned 32 in April of 2017, for anybody who's wondering. But it's like, I've been through a lot of shit, man. I've been through a lot of adversity. I've had a lot of highs and lows in my life. Yeah. A lot of real dark lows. Never been on drugs or anything like that, but it doesn't, you could still be at lows, trust me.
Absolutely.
And just thinking about where I started and everything I've gone through in my life to get to where I am today, it's like I refuse to live an average life after all of that hard work. I refuse to backslide. I refuse to take all these little teeny tasks that have grown over the years, every little task and every little, thing that you do, and just let that waste. I feel like that's a disservice and disrespectful to myself. And something that just keeps me motivated is that, like, the littlest thing in your day, depending on what your motivations are, can really impact and change someone's life. You could stop someone from it's kind of extreme, but your actions could stop someone from wanting to end their own life, or wanting to, be violent against someone, or wanting to make a really stupid decision with their money. Like, one little piece of advice, one little, hey, how you doing, can really change somebody's life. And so it's like one of the things that keeps me moving is, like, I have a vision for what I want my life to be. I was just having this conversation earlier with a friend of mine. Like, when I close my eyes, actually I could do it with my eyes open. I know what my house is going to look like. I know what I want to be able to provide my own family. I want to, as far as, future wife and kids and all that stuff. I know what I would like. Not what I would like, but I know what I'm going to accomplish as far as building the brand, building movements. Yeah. You know what I mean? Building a community that other people are going to essentially sprout from the seeds that I've laid, and uplift other people. And you know what? It's the multiplication factor, right? You change 2 people's lives, they're going to change 4. Those are going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I'm never going to stop. And when I'm 35, when I'm 40, when I'm 45, my vision is always going to keep evolving, right? My mission, what makes me feel fulfilled is always going to keep. It's a sliding gradient. Yeah. You're never going to wake up and be like, I did it. Maybe you can with little wins. Yeah. But the big picture win, the day you die is the day you accomplish it. Yeah. Really, because your legacy is what you leave behind. If you work, you die, you didn't change anybody's life for good. Maybe you were just in it for the money. That's not good. I don't want to be that guy.
Absolutely, man. And I was just going to say that, when you see someone who's in it for the money, just the way they treat people, just the way that, they carry themselves, you just know that person's not really happy, Right. No, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the people, you could tell that they're in it for the money because it's like they're here today, gone tomorrow. How many times have you seen some person on YouTube? I keep going back to YouTube, but it's such a powerful platform these days. Like, they have all these videos and they're like the it thing, but they're selling information products. Maybe they are selling some type of pyramid scheme or some type of infomercial product where it's like, buy now. And then you never see them again because they made their money, they dipped out, or they didn't make, they made their money, lost the money, dipped out, and don't know how to succeed without screwing people and taking advantage of people's kindness and all of that. And so, in my opinion, it's the long play. It's how people remember you. It's how many people show up at your funeral. It's all of this stuff that keeps me going. And the fact that, this is going to sound a little deep or hippie, but it's like when I wake up, that's another opportunity to make an impact. Absolutely.
On my own life. I mean, it's a self-serving belief, but it's like my life can get better by the time I go back to sleep.
Absolutely.
My problems from yesterday could be completely out the window in today. It's all in, they say the difference between having a good day and a bad day is all your viewpoint and your attitude around it, right? So there could be a person that just got laid off from their job, wants to go drink away their sorrows and just piss away the next 5 years feeling sorry about themselves because, Gary, Gary's assistant manager narked on him for, leaving work earlier, some bullshit, some little trivia bullshit. Or you could say, you know what? It's my time to move on. Like, it's a new opportunity. I'm going to take what I learned. I'm going to take what I'm good at and find something that I enjoy more, that I'm going to make more money, that I can impact people, that I can be friendly to people. Because I think friendliness is so like underrated, right? Yeah. When you go to a store, like I'm sure we have some similar stores from the US to the UK, but it's like you walk into, let's say, any retail store for electronics. If you walk in and you want to buy a new camera lens and you sit there for even 10 minutes and nobody comes up to ask if you need help, or if the one guy walks by and acts annoyed that he has to help you, like, hey, like, what do you want? That's going to give you a completely different experience throughout your entire day and affect your day, because you're going to leave and then you're going to call your buddy or text your buddy and say, I just met this asshole at Best Buy and I sat around for 45 minutes waiting to spend $800 on a lens. Or you could get the person that meets you, makes you feel like $1 million, and guess what? You just walked out of the store with a lens, a new camera bag, you know what I mean, some ND filters, and like four CDs. I don't even know if they still sell CDs, but you get what I'm saying is, and then you walk out of there feeling good. You're gonna go tell somebody about your experience in a positive way. So it's like the power of positivity, the power of being happy and helpful is so underrated because everybody's self-serving. Everybody's like, oh, it's me. How many likes can I get? How's this going to make me money? Like, but just being nice to people, being kind to people will get you so much further in life than actually having any talent.
Absolutely, man. And I think people, life is the opportunity, and I don't think people realize that. I feel like people look around for something that has the word or an arrow pointing it that says, here's an opportunity, I mean, that's not what an opportunity is. Like waking up in the morning is an opportunity. Just you could walk out your door and just get into a conversation with someone who just so happens to be able to provide you with exactly what you need right now.
Right. I mean, building on that point exactly, how many times do you get emails a week from approximate amount of emails that you get from like a producer that wants to get better at their craft or build a business? Like, approximately how many emails do you think you would receive?
Good. In a week, a good 100.
Okay. Say. So out of those 100, the majority of them haven't even contacted a local studio to go ask for an internship. They haven't gone to Guitar Center or whatever music store to just strike up conversations with the people that work there, because 99% of the time, somebody that works there either has experience in the music industry or has a really deep passion where you could, build and work together and learn something from them. They just want you to give them the magic beans, and boom, they wake up, they're delivered. They're multi-platinum selling producer. They could produce till they're 70, have all the baddest bitches, have all the nicest equipment just delivered to them. I mean, it just comes in a truck, right?
Yeah.
So, but people don't do the simple footwork to, like, you know what, I want to learn, so I'm going to ask. They don't ask the right questions.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so many, they're because they might be embarrassed. They might feel like, you know what, if I ask this guy these questions, I'm going to look like I'm under him, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
Ego is killing so many people's opportunities. Yeah. And like you said, you create opportunities. Now, not every opportunity, but in my opinion, just like I was talking about with the happiness and being positive, opportunities come to you when your personality allows other people to bring them. If you're a dickhead and you're known as the asshole that doesn't return emails and the guy that has an attitude all the time, well, people might have an opportunity that your name comes to mind, but they'll be like intimidated by you or just feel like it's a waste of time to present it to you. And that kills so many people. Ego.
Absolutely.
And the idea of, being a somebody and not being, not having that gratitude towards other people's knowledge. Like you and I, We come from completely different walks of life. We have a completely different story. We're different ages, I believe. And you and I could learn so much from each other based off of our skill sets, even though we do dabble in the same type of industry and in the same type of knowledge pools and circles and stuff. But it's just like so many people feel like they've already made it, yet they have so many questions.
Absolutely, man. And everyone sees it as competition, you know what I mean? I'm not like, I don't see someone say, oh, blah, blah, blah on the timeline. Oh, Adam Ivy. I don't say, oh, man, fuck Adam Ivy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but there's so many people do. That's the problem.
Man, I think that competition just breeds that negativity, you know what I mean? I feel like if people just reached out and did things like this, you know, for the level you're at and the people you work with and the industry you're in, man, just reach out to some people and work with them.
Yeah,
you know?
Anybody can do that.
Absolutely, man. And I also, just to track back to when you were saying about people who are afraid to ask questions, I also wanted to say that people hit me up sometimes and they say, I've got a question, but it's a stupid question. I just tell them, I said, if you get that answer you're looking for, is that a stupid question?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how anybody feels. Like sometimes people ask me questions and I'll be busy and I'll be like, oh, this person's been asking me questions on questions and questions, but I won't say, you know what, I'm not answering any more questions for you. You know, I'll still answer. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's the point in the email thread that you kind of give them shit. You're like, bro, you know, I've answered this question 3 times in the last 12 emails, right? Yeah. Come on. You just the difference between where you are and where you want to be at this point is just taking action, and I can't do that for you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think just people need. I think people need things like this. I think there's so much presentation going on out there, and there's that whole separatist thing where people, you know, they're trying to get to a point where, you know, they can act like nobody can talk to them and stuff like that.
Right.
I think I think where we're going right now, where we're going right now leads right into the question I wanted to ask about. You know, I know we've covered it a bit, but when it comes to building an audience and a community, what do you think what's important?
When it comes to building a community, when it comes to building an audience, when it comes to building a name for yourself and really getting that going, I think that there's a couple things that come to mind first and foremost. One, being authentic, and that kind of ties into the apparel line, just be authentic. Like, that is a mantra to me. Yeah. Be yourself. Be yourself. Understand who you are, and that takes some time. That takes some work. But be yourself. And after you come to a realization of who you are, be consistent with your actions. If you want something, be consistent. Don't spend 2 weeks making a video, uploading the video, and then sitting back waiting for something to happen. I always tell artists this, and producers as well. Your music is not for you. Once you release a song, it's like bubbles. You blow bubbles, you never get them back. Once your music is out there, start working on the next thing, because that song is for someone else. Yeah. That song is for someone to enjoy. That's for a rapper to get on. That's for someone to, buy and put in their car, but it's not for you. You're
nice.
You get what I'm saying?
I like that.
I mean, think of it from a practical sense of a painter, like a real artist. They paint their painting, and the last thing they want is to have it hung up in their house.
Yeah. Same with actors. Some actors won't even watch their movies back once they've been made.
That's it, because you're doing what you love to do for someone else. Ship it and move on.
That's it. And I think the people champion their own music too much. I'm the hottest this, I'm the best this, I'm the greatest and all that stuff. It's like, give someone else a chance to tell you what that is, type of thing,
Exactly. Because if you were that hot, you wouldn't have to say it.
Yeah, that's it, man. And they will support you. We see it everywhere, those artists that are doing it right, man. There's people out here championing them, people who consider themselves not just fans, they're part of the brand. And I think people like Logic, for example, people like Hopsin, those ride or die fans, like literally you go on one of their videos and you say something out of place and they're going to eat you alive in the YouTube comment section.
And they did it from being themselves. Like couple names that come to mind are Futuristic on YouTube and Lil Dicky. Look at where these people came from. They came from YouTube and they all had their own lane. I mean, Lil Dicky came with essentially satire rap, comedy rap, because he knew that that's what he wanted to do. That's who he was.
Yeah.
And now these guys are paid. These guys are uber successful with an organic following that's not going to leave if they get kicked off a label. They're going to be there. And you know, I do think that just understanding your vision and knowing who you are is a gift. Like, you have to give that to people. You have to share who you are, because there's so many people that want to sound like Drake, that want to produce like DJ Mustard. You know, it's don't be that guy. Don't fucking be that guy.
Man. Don't ever be that guy.
No, don't ever play yourself.
don't play.
How's business? Booming.
Booming.
But you know, you see it on YouTube all the time with imitators and stuff, and some of them will even say, like, you know, pay homage to who they're looking up to, and I kind of give credit to those people, because they're like, look, I'm just straight up biting this guy's style, but you know, they're my hero, which you can understand, but it's never going to work. So just understand what your value is. That's probably a better way to put it than just who you are. What is your value? What can you give to the world? What can you share? If I don't have any money, if you don't have any money, we get together, what can I share with you? Whether it be a joke that'll make you laugh, or some knowledge, something that you might not have known. Maybe you're down and I can uplift you with just my personality. Maybe you can help me figure out, you know, the marketing aspects in a different way, or make me understand why I'm doing something stupid, and help me, you know, identify things in my life that I need to change. Like, there's so many things that the interpersonal relationships are so valuable, but we don't value them.
Absolutely. It's like someone will want, people will be mad that they don't have 1,000 fans, and it's like, you've got 5 fans right there. Why aren't you showing them love? Why aren't you hitting them up and giving them free stuff and shouting them out? And you know, you want 100 fans, but you don't know what to do with 5.
That's it. You know? People want to throw frisbees, but don't want to learn how to throw boomerangs. That's
absolutely.
it. So.
And just to track back to where you said, you know, artists that pay homage to someone, they might, you know, take their style a little. Have you heard of 22 Savage?
Yeah, recently. I'm starting to feel old, to be quite honest with you.
Well, basically, there's 21 Savage, right? And he was
okay.
There's 20 there's 21 Savage, and he's like he's popping right now, like for the young kids. Everybody loves him. And then a guy came along. He was a YouTube comedian, and he just used to do jokes and have fun on Instagram and Vine and stuff like that.
Right.
And then one day he just decided to be 22 Savage, and he raps, and it's just like him and everything. And you know, even though he's completely catting somebody's style, it's completely his own lane, because he's just come out of nowhere and said, like
that's genius. I'm gonna be E41.
E41.
Bro, that'd be amazing.
But man, he's just done it. So it's a parody of it all. You know what I mean? Like, everyone.
And that works, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would work.
He's getting up there where 21 Savage is as 22 Savage.
Oh man, that's genius. I love it.
Oh man, it's just, I think it's just another example of, you know, there's a lack of creativity there, right? But at the same time, there's so much creativity in just openly being like, oh yeah, completely stole his swag. You know,
if you own it, you know, the confidence in just owning that, though, because so many people try to pretend like they're not, right? Like, for instance, I actually like Designer to a certain point when I'm working out, because I think he has more energy than Future does, and I don't think anybody can argue that. Future has a flow that Designer kind of sounds like. I think more people are upset that Designer's vocal tone sounds similar to Future, because if he sounded different, if he sounded like Lil Bibby, but had the same flow as he does, nobody would say shit. But his vocal tone is very similar to Future. So people get upset, but I'm like, it's two different styles at that point. Like, I see similarities. It is what it is. But if you straight out come out, well, for instance, this is a good one. What was the guy drinking my cup? What was that?
Kurt Cobain's.
Yeah. Okay. So he came out, and everybody that heard "Drink in My Cup," for the most part, thought it was a Drake song because he tried to sound just like Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I know there's going to be like hardcore Kurt Cobain's fans, all three of them, that get upset with that comment. But
he said all three.
Well, okay, that's exaggerative. Maybe 7 or 8. But people
maybe
that
7.
maybe 7 or 8. I can't give them any more credit. But it's like, what is this guy doing now? He's doing clubs for $250 a night or whatever. Like, okay, maybe $1,000, but that's not going to really do much for you.
Yeah.
And especially when you have to pay health insurance and like real life bills and taxes and things that you have to do as an actual entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. People that come out and sound exactly like someone else and don't do it differently or don't kind of make fun of themselves for doing it are just going to fail. They're going to go to the wayside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as bad, man.
It's honesty, man. Like, people will respect honesty, whether they like what you're doing or whether not, they'll be like, I wish I could be that honest.
Right. Transparency and being authentic.
Yeah. 2
things that are going to get you far, but but people don't value authenticity. People don't value transparency. Recently I did a video. I was in Las Vegas. I was with my best friend, and let's just say through a networking connection, because he's like an international club DJ, through a networking connection, lo and behold, he knows the general manager of the Audi dealership there. So nice. We had an opportunity for like a day and a half to drive the new R8 because the dealership was closed on Sundays. Nice. So it's like we got to drive around the 2017 Audi R8 V10.
I watched that video, actually. You were going up through the mountains.
Hell yeah, man. And we could do whatever we wanted. Like, the guy's like, you could do a review video, you could just cruise, like, I don't care. Because he's buddies with my friend Zach, DJ DeVille, is nice to people. He's super professional. He treats everybody the same, whether you're, there's that quote out there, a real CEO will treat the janitor the same way. It's like, some bullshit like that. But, it's true though. If you treat people with respect, you don't, like, the dude in the pajama pants at the gas station may be worth $100 million. And driving his brother's car that day, or in town for business. That's why he's driving a Corolla. Like, he has a rental. Like, people are so quick to think that visually you have to look a certain sort of way to be successful. And right in the video, right on the comments on my Instagram and YouTube, like, I do not claim to own the R8. In fact, in my YouTube video that you watched, I did a whole segment where I'm like, look, it's important to visualize. Yeah. It's important to get your hands on some of the things that you want, to get a taste of the good life, to get you motivated sometimes. And you don't have to be embarrassed to drive somebody else's car. If your buddy owns a Porsche Cayman S and that's your dream car, ask him to ride in it. Ask him to drive it. Ask him to pop the hood and look at it. Touch it, feel it, take pictures with it. Because that's going to get your mental mindset aligned to owning that someday. That's going to get your it's all about opportunity. Yeah. Never be too proud to be a kid. Never be too proud to take an opportunity when you get it. If your girlfriend's dad rented a Rolls Royce to take her little brother to prom in, hell yeah, take pictures with it. Just don't tell people that it's yours. Don't say, I'm stunting, motherfucker, like, this is mine now. Like, no. Because if you're not transparent, if you're not authentic in our day and age, in our society, in the social media world that we live in, people are going to see it.
And they're going to see it fast, too.
Real fast. You're going to go from flashing, you just cashed your paycheck or your Christmas bonus, and you're like, oh, I'm stunting. Look at all this money. You got like 4 $100 bills under, a bunch of ones underneath it. Like, rich people don't show off their money. Yeah. Wealthy people, I should say. Wealthy people don't show off, like, oh, I got a Hermes belt. Fucking cool, man. Cool story.
Man, there was I won't say his name, but it's like a quite big marketer online, like in the hip hop bracket.
Sure.
And he was somewhere, and there was a place where there was like a helicopter you could pay $20 to ride in. And
right.
There was a car you could take pictures with. I think it was
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, and he stood in front of her acting like he was this, and then they were his. And then the same day, a girl, she must have only been about like 16, 17. She did a video in the same place and said, oh, that guy you can get in this helicopter for $20. You can go
That's
take a
it.
picture with the car for free. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
balling. You know?
And that the car didn't even have a motor in it. It's just like a
it didn't
shell
have
just sitting
that's,
there.
That's exactly what it was. Oh man.
Yeah, because you'll get exposed so fast. You know what? People will respect you a lot more if you say, hey, what's going on, guys? This is my Honda Accord. Like, I'm not where I want to be yet, but this is my ride, and I take care of it because no matter what I have, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm appreciate where I've come, right? Instead of, yo, like, this is my Ferrari Italia. I just got it. Yeah, I might have had a Toyota Corolla last week, but I've really come up. I just saw, like, I read someone recently.
Right.
And I actually did a Facebook post, like low-key, passive-aggressive, kind of making fun of the guy because I didn't want to bust him out. But he made up a whole entire article on how he got signed with a label.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted it on this like fake news site. And it's super unprofessional. Like, his grammatical ability is not good. Like, his punctuation was fucked up. He had certain stuff capitalized when it clearly didn't need to.
Yeah.
He was missing about 14 commas within this one paragraph that he did about him getting signed. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, people are gonna, especially if any A&R or actual label person had him on their radar, they're gonna laugh at him and never talk to him again.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, this guy's saying that he signed with so and so. Okay, yeah, okay, we know the people over there. They've never heard of this dude. It'll be like some dude named like Super Hot, Click Clack, Beats Boy 11 or some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have their branding on point. They don't have anything. They've been making beats for 6 months, and they think that they should have a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's on every single software on their computer's cracked. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm holier than thou because I have some cracked software on my computer that I started with. We all do. But the thing is, don't pretend so much because so many people fall into the trap of starting to believe their own bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's fatal.
Dangerous.
It's fatal. Yeah. That's kiss of death right there.
That's when you start bragging about it and people will make it a mission. No, we are taking you down. We've had enough now. You know, it's bad.
People lose their hunger.
Yeah.
People lose their hunger when they believe that they're successful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got 45,000 followers on Instagram. 44,300 of them are fake, but they're like, I made it. I don't have to do shit. Like, it's just
crazy, man. Because I like to teach my coaching clients, like, I'll tell them, look, you've got to start documenting what you do, whether it's vlogging, whether it's content, whether it's, pictures of you playing, videos of you playing your beats, whatever, you've got to document. And they say, oh, well, I don't have one of those DSLR cameras. And I'm like, that's the point. You've got to document your struggle. Let people see where you are. And then next year when they look back through your old videos, now that you've got a DSLR, they'll be like, oh, shit, this guy did come up from using his grainy webcam or his phone from last year type of thing. And I think that, to build that connection with people, especially if you're someone who's trying to make it out of the struggle, your fans are going to be people who are trying to make it out of the struggle. So for you to put yourself above that, you're never going to make that real connection with those people, man.
And real connections are invaluable. Real connections are worth more money than you will ever make in any venture, because those real connections will be there for life, man. And friends will come and go. That happens, but if you treat people right, like I was saying, those events, let's just say, those little ticks on the timeline will come back, and the karma behind it, good or bad, will come around.
Yes.
And like you were saying with the whole DSLR camera, I feel like the people that are real champions and the people that are really hungry, let's talk about hunger for a second, are the ones that make do with what they have, which gives them a higher skill set, because they could say, oh, well, I learned all my video editing through iMovie because I didn't have anything else, and I just took all my videos from my mom's cell phone and then emailed them to myself. But understanding how to make shitty footage look good,
that's a skill.
It'll help everything when you actually get a good camera.
Absolutely, because there's some artists that are pretty big and they're up there with the quality of some of the bigger ones, and they're doing it out of their bedroom.
That's it.
Because the kit they got might not be the best kit in the world, but they've maxed out their program and got it to as good as it can be. And I think that if people aren't willing to make the most out of the tools they've got, just like we were saying in the beginning, man, you've got to use the tools that are available to you now, and you've got to use them until you get those new tools. You don't wait until. I said in a video earlier, man, I said that people they want the reward before the work, but they've got to do the work to get the reward. They want the fans before they do the work, but they got to do the work to get the fans.
Without question. I mean, I'll tell you a funny story. I don't think I've really told anybody this publicly before, but I had a Canon T3i. That was my first quote-unquote good camera. That was after I dropped the red and yellow parody. I'm like, I'm going to kill this YouTube thing. Started using the T3i, which at the time cost me a little over $900, I think. Saved up, had my day job at the time. And then, no, actually I didn't have my day job at the time. But anyway, that's a whole different story. But I was making money with Beats to the point where maybe like a year or two later, I had enough money where I could easily buy a Canon 5D Mark III like the month it came out. It cost me $3,500. Well, I buy this mega bad boy camera. This thing's like indestructible for like the most professional of professional photographers, and it shoots amazing video. And I didn't even like it. I ended up selling it and losing $1,500 on it. I used it maybe half a dozen times. I would always still go back to my T3i because I knew how to make things look good, and it was my jam. I was comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So more expensive and quote unquote better isn't always better, because what the hell are you gonna do? Not you, but let's just talk to some random person out there. And yeah, I'm talking to you.
You.
Someone's like, he's talking to me. What are you going to do with the $2,700 Sony A7S Mark II and some lenses, and you've never used a camera like that before? What are you going to do with it? You're going to watch YouTube tutorials and become like a professional in 6 months? No. You could get just as good of quality with a camera a quarter of the price that is on Craigslist right now, 2 blocks down from where you live, that you can actually afford, instead of waiting 18 months to get a credit card with the 24% interest rate so you can max it out buying some fucking camera you don't need. So many people think that magically, and it goes for music gear too. They'll think like, oh, well, I have this MIDI controller, it's 49 key. Well, if I get the new one that's 61 key, I'm going to be so fucking inspired, bro. My beats are going to go to the next level. And it's like, dude, it's a MIDI controller. Like, it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it works. Doesn't matter if the lights are multicolor or if they're just one color.
Man, I remember my MIDI controller broke maybe about a year ago, and I was going to buy a machine.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a George Foreman grill, but that's a sidebar.
Oh God, I remember when you were posting about that. Oh, hey, George Foreman will always trump any other investment. I don't care what you say.
Hey, lean grilling machine. But
that's it.
But then I was relegated to using a caps lock keyboard. But man, the best beats I've been making in my life have been with a caps lock keyboard.
Because you made it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were hungry to make it work.
I just knew that the input and stuff is, that's just subjective, whatever you prefer. It's all about what you do inside the program and how to mix and the sounds you use and stuff, And I think that, people out there, you don't have to go broke to set yourself up, you just got to be smart.
Maximize and optimize everything that you have at your disposal, right? There's even libraries out there that have a limited amount of camera gear that you can actually, here in the States, they have DVDs and CDs and free computer usage for looking stuff up. Obviously, that's what, libraries are these days, but it's to the point where there are people on TV right now in commercials that have amazingly stunning videos in the Apple iPhone commercials. And it says shot on an iPhone. And they had it with the old model, so you can't just say, oh, well, I need the new iPhone 7 or iPhone 8 or iPhone 9 to get that quality. No. There were people using iPhone 5Ss, and they were featuring them on commercials too. So there are people out there right now that the phone that they're Snapchatting on can take a better video than a $2,500 camera, hypothetically, if they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it's all about the knowledge of it. It's all about knowing how to use it. I mean,
Absolutely.
I've been producing 10 years. You've been producing forever. There's still VSTs that I have on my computer. I have no idea how to use them. And I'll be the first person to be like, I don't ever use this shit because I don't know how to use it. You will not master everything. Even the top guy, what's his name? Pensado?
Pensado, yeah.
Yeah, Pensado. That guy's a fucking genius. That guy's like the audio engineering god. And I'm sure that there's things that he gets into it, looks at it like he's trying to read Chinese. He's like, especially with everything he's seen from manually patching, and doing tape reels and all this stuff that we have no appreciation for anymore. Coming to everything stuff. Being in the body. Yeah, that's it. So
transitioned, and he didn't say, oh man, this digital stuff, nah, I'm not fucking with that.
You had to keep learning, man.
Yeah.
That's life. Keep working, keep learning. Absolutely. I need to make a t-shirt that says that.
Yeah, hey, there we go, man. You hit it here first.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's been great to have you on, man. That we really got into it.
Oh, I had a good time, man. I appreciate you having me on. The opportunity is definitely appreciated. I keep saying appreciated, but there's no other word that really sums it up. Man. You're a good guy. You're doing great things, and it's kind of self-serving because you want people to learn about you through other people. But honestly, if I could bring any value to your audience, it's like mission accomplished. And you have such a broad reach and just are doing really great things that I respect the hell out of.
Thank you, man. Well, this is the first interview I'm going to be putting out for the podcast, so I really think we're going to set a bar with that, because I just knew bringing you in was a good idea, because we talked about this for months back when I was going to do a podcast before, so it's nice to finally get it in, man. So
yeah, man,
what can people expect from you in the future, man?
Oh, just I'm really grinding. I'm going all in on this new apparel brand, man. I've invested essentially all my money, my time, my resources, and just been having a lot of fun. And the thing that I love most about it is I'm learning so much, because I've never really officially done pursued a business like this before. So everything from the purchasing to the designing, the legal stuff, from trademarks and paying this type of tax and tariffs, and it's just so much fun. And right now I think we have, I say we, but it's really just me right now, have 20 something items, and my goal is by next summer to have about 50. Nice. We just got brand new zip up hoodies in today. Actually, they're going to go on pre-sale in the next few days and then officially launch mid-November 2016. You can find those at justbe.com, and also see a lot of previews, a lot of different lookbook type things, outfit of the day type of things here and there, at on our Instagram account, instagram.com/justbeauthentic. That's JUSBI authentic. Yeah, man. And if anybody is listening right now, if any of your audience is listening, they can use the discount code give me 15 to get 15% off their entire order. I think that's a better discount than you got.
Yeah,
but I appreciate your support, bro. But no, man.
It's all love, man. I'm glad, man, because I know that. Listen, anybody out there, you got your clothes and they got those funky designs on. Like, just generally, people buy clothes that got funky designs and stuff, and you put them on, and it feels whatever. But I'm telling you, I put these Just Be Authentic t-shirts, and I was like, oh man, you know when you wear good quality clothes, and the kind of t-shirts where you're just having one of those days where you're like, I just want to be comfortable today. You can just throw one of Adam's t-shirts on, man, and that's you're comfortable.
And I appreciate you saying that, man. It's that's like I said early on in the podcast, or in this episode rather, like, quality is my number one concern. Like, paying a few pennies more here and there, or a few dollars more in some cases, to have good quality, because the last thing I want is a bunch of returns from people being unhappy, or people talking down on the brand. Like, I paid this much and there's like a Hanes beefy tee, you know what I mean? Like, if I wouldn't wear it and be proud to wear it, I won't sell it. And that goes for anything. I mean, eventually when I'm selling socks and underwear, it's going to be the same thing. So yeah, man, justbe.com, adamivy.com. That's really what I'm working on right now, is just the apparel. And I'm actually going to be releasing a ton of new YouTube videos. Everything from Yeah, product reviews to, marketing and business advice, a little bit of music-based stuff here and there, some YouTube insight for people that are just getting started. Obviously, commercial type behind-the-scenes stuff for the brand, which I'm excited for too. But you can find me everywhere at Adam Ivy. That's ADAMIVY. Not trying to plug myself too much here, but
hey man, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But let's talk politics for. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. But yeah, no, that's what I'm working on. I think that, in life, if you want to be successful, try to have as close to a singular focus as you can. Yeah. You're always going to have other interests. Always keep learning. Read books. If you don't like reading, I'm a really slow learner. I listen to a lot of podcasts, such as this. This is going to be a great resource for anybody that's listening.
Thank you, man.
Of course, and audiobooks, and just always try to keep absorbing from other people, because you will never be the smartest motherfucker in the room. If you are, you're in the wrong room.
Love that quote, man.
Yeah,
Love
man.
it. But yeah, like I say, pleasure to have you on, man. I know the audience is going to appreciate it. So everybody out there, get in touch with Adam. As he said, at Adam Ivy on everything. We're out. Peace.
Thanks so much.